RaceRoom unveiled new updates today at their Grid Talk episode 2, and we were able to try out a core element that they presented, the Super Touring Pack for December, featuring true touring car legends from Audi, Volvo, Honda and BMW. But that's not all. As RaceRoom rounds off a busy year of updates, there are new tracks, a Monza 2024 update, and the most important information for you, from today until the 6th of December, you can use all available RaceRoom content for free, beyond the try before you buy thing that they have. A perfect opportunity for everyone to give it a proper try. And we are now already jumping into the Super Tourers, which will be released on 10 December. Let's go. Welcome back to Overtake. We recently covered super touring cars as part of an AC mod video. Little did we know that RaceRoom would come up with the next big thing straight after the DTM 1995 pack. This racing category, also known as Class 2, dominated touring car racing in regional championships around the world in the mid to late 90s. From the BTCC to the STCC and JTCC to the German STW. The regulations allow a maximum displacement of 2 liters and up to 6 cylinders. And with the first pack, we have a nice mix of different concepts. On the one hand, there's the BMW E36, the most successful car of the era, 2-liter naturally aspirated, rear-wheel drive, just under 300 bhp. In contrast, the Honda Accord, a front-wheel drive 2-liter engine with just over 300 bhp, comes in second. Audi, of course, is back with its proven Quattro all-wheel drive, offering more traction, but also a little more weight and not quite as much punch as the competition has. The 2 Volvos, the 850 and its 1997 successor, the S40, spoilers with 2-liter 5-cylinder beauty. FWD was also used here, which meant that the Swedes could enter the race with a curb weight of 975 kilograms, just as the Honda Accord. According to RaceRoom, these 5 cars are just the beginning, and they plan to expand the class in the future. This is of course exciting and great news for hobby leagues and retro racers. For the latter, we also see a new track, Silverstone Classic, as seen in Automobilista 2, which of course fits perfectly with the super touring cars, and like the BTCC charm it has. Let's take the BMW for a spin first, and as expected, it has the most harmonious handling of all the cars in the pack. With its front-engined RWD concept, like a proper FR car, the car does exactly what you want to do it and can be driven beautifully to the point. However, unlike the DTM 1995 in RaceRoom, there is no TC, no ABS, so more control over your throttle and brake is required. Yeah, smashing that brake pedal to the floor inevitably leads to the front wheels locking up, and this in turn leads to the flat spots that you can also feel through the force feedback in RaceRoom. Apart from that, the BMW impresses with a raw and rich sound. It's just great fun. Transmission whine, like engine noise, it's all just on point. Yeah, we also have a lot of liveries for all of the cars, but especially for the BMW. You could almost drive your own BMW Cup. There are so many of them. If you prefer modern stuff, modern tracks, there is a new one coming soon too. In the December update, it's Estoril in Portugal. This circuit has an exciting and challenging layout and is graphically very well done, especially if you consider the RaceRoom graphics and what it's capable of. And yeah, you almost have an impressive panorama in front of you every time you go into the next corner, and there are lots of objects and buildings, like track objects on site. And here we are testing the Volvo 850, which drives very smoothly, and the front axle for a front-wheel driven car is quite tame at first. but this creates a false sense of security because too much throttle, as always with these cars, will just lead to understeer, which is then punished immediately if you get to the track limits, because they are quite strict here in Estoril. The 5-cylinder sound could be a little more rich for my taste, which is also true for the S40, but both of the Volvos sound different, which is very commendable. The 850 screams a bit more maybe. The S40 also has a really slick cockpit. In general, these like Group A style production car cockpits look really cool, 90s vibes. The characteristics of the newer Volvo, the S40, which also has FWD, are quite similar to the F50. However, the front axle is not very responsive. The Honda Accord, on the other hand, shows that this can be done differently. It requires even more sensitivity and pulls almost as much on the front axle as modern TCRs. It also has an even narrower rev band to get up to speed than the other cars in the pack. There is just only power at the top end, a typical Honda naturally aspirated engine. But if you know how to drive the Honda and how to squeeze everything out of it at the limit, this Japanese car is really fast. That leaves us with the Audi A4, which takes a completely different approach with its quattro all-wheel drive, and therefore BTCC, I think, later in the 90s also banned this concept, so Audi left the BTCC, and it really comes into its own in slow, tight corners. Depending on the situation, the standard setup tends to both understeer and oversteer. You can use the ladder to your advantage to get the Audi A4 into position, which is also a lot of fun, but also quite challenging to master it. Of the bunch, it's probably the easiest to start driving with, easy to learn, hard to master, I'd say. However, I enjoy driving this type of car, like AWD touring cars, more in the other touring classes in RaceRoom, like the V8 or also the DT M95. So my favorites in the super tourers are still the BMW and the Honda. Anyway, the pack makes a really good impression. It's just so much fun, just like the 2020 revision of Monza and the new Silverstone Classic and Estoril tracks. It's great fun, pure, authentic door-to-door racing. The AI is not yet 100% consistent on the new tracks in our test version and is a little slow in some corners, but KW Studios still has some time to tweak this. They are also working on something called Dynamic Track Evolution, similar to what iRacing introduced in their last dev update. This means that dirt that lands on the track as a result of other cars slipping or taking the grass line and certain chicanes can now affect the grip level for the other drivers. A good step, but a sophisticated weather system would be so good for 2025 for RaceRoom. RaceRoom is increasingly becoming the go-to sim for fans of touring cars and is expanding its already large range of racetracks even further. The 2024 updates were really strong, but RaceRoom wasn't able to make a real leap, at least in terms of Steam player numbers, if you look at them. What else are you missing in the simulation, and do you regularly check it out? Let us know in the comments. And here's another video from Emily telling us about the next big iRacing update coming for the 2025 Season 1. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and also hit that bell. See you next time. Bye-bye.